In this video, I'll be going over 5 of my potential best builds to use when taking on the 7-star Mewtwo Tera Raid that we will be getting in September. These builds are all solo builds. Now, before I get straight into them, I would love and appreciate if you guys would subscribe to my channel. Genuinely, it would mean a lot to me if you did. Having said that, let's get straight into it. So the first build that I've gone for is probably the weakest build of them all, if I'm being perfectly honest, is Hisuian Samurott, which is a water dark type Pokemon, so exactly the same as Greninja. So I've gone for a dark Terra type, adamant nature, giving it a boost to its attack whilst reducing its special attack, 252 EVs in HP and attack, the rest going in defense. I've gone for the ability sharpness, which is going to give a 50% boost to slicing or cutting moves, however you want to call them. Night Slash is going to get a boost of the ability sharpness as well as having a high critical hit ratio. Ceaseless Edge is also going to get a boost of the ability sharpness. Swords Dance is going to increase our attack by 2 stages every time we use it, up to 6 stages. And then lastly, Taunt, just so we don't have any status moves used against us. Also, it must be said that you're going to get Stab, so same time attack bonus for Night Slash and Ceaseless Edge in addition to the ability sharpness. And lastly, when you take into consideration you're going to be increasing your attack with Swords Dance, you're definitely going to be hitting extremely hard with this build. Now lastly, the item I've gone for is Shell Bell to work as a solid line of recovery. I think this build can work, but I'm not particularly sure that I'm going to use it myself. So this is the first build. Let's move on to the second build. So the second build that I have gone for is Chi-Yu, which is a new legendary Pokemon introduced in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now the build I've gone for is a dark Terra type with a modest nature, increasing its special attack whilst reducing its attack, 252 EVs in special attack and special defense, whilst the rest of the EVs go into HP. And its ability, Beads of Ruin, will reduce Mewtwo's special defense by 25%, and this works extremely well for us considering Chi-Yu is an amazing special attacker. Now in terms of its moveset, I've gone for Dark Pulse, which is our main damage dealing move and it can cause flinching. Nasty Plot to increase our special attack by 2 stages. Ruination is extremely powerful as it can cut Mewtwo's HP by half. It only has 1 PP and it doesn't have 100% accuracy, so hopefully it hits the time that you use it. And lastly, Snarl to reduce Mewtwo's special attack by 1 stage whilst also causing damage as well. And lastly, the item we are going to use is Leftovers. Now I like this Chi-Yu build, but in my opinion Chi-Yu is quite fragile, so you want to hit hard and hit fast in order to take down Mewtwo, especially if you're going to be using this solo with no support. Now let's look at the third build. The third build that I have gone for is Hydreigon. Now I really like Hydreigon. I think it's a super cool Pokemon and I'm really glad to see it and also its Paradox version in the Scarlet and Violet games. Now let's look at the particular build itself. So I've gone for a dark Terra type with a modest nature, increasing its special attack whilst reducing its attack. I've gone for 252 EVs in HP, 252 EVs in special attack, and the rest are going into special defense. Now its ability Levitate is really no use to us whatsoever. In terms of the moveset, I've gone for Snarl, which is going to reduce Mewtwo's special attack by 1 stage. Nasty Plot to increase our special attack by 2 stages. Dark Pulse is our main damage dealing move and it can also cause flinching. And its last move is Thunder Wave, which is going to reduce Mewtwo's speed. Not only that, but it might potentially immobilize it so it can't attack us for a couple of turns. In terms of the item, I've gone for Shell Bell, which is going to work again as a powerful line of recovery. I really think this build is a solid build. I really like Hydreigon and I definitely think this build is good enough to solo the 7-star Mewtwo Tera Raid. Let's move on. Let's look at the fourth build. So the fourth build that I have gone for is a personal favourite of mine, which is Scizor. Now Scizor's got great typing to start off with. Its bug steel typing means that it's only got 1 weakness, which is to fire 4 times, yes, which can be a bit of an issue. However, because of its typing, it's got a lot of resistances as well. So the particular build I have gone for is a bug Terra type with an adamant nature. This is going to give us a boost in our attack whilst reducing our special attack, 252 EVs in attack, 252 EVs in HP, and the rest going into defense. Now its ability Technician gives us a 50% boost to moves that have a base power of 60 or less. Now in terms of its moveset, I've gone for X Scizor, which is going to be our main damage dealing move. I've gone for Light Screen, which is going to reduce Mewtwo's special attack damage by 50% for 5 turns. Sword Stance is going to give us a boost to our attack by 2 stages. And lastly, Fury Cutter is going to combine extremely well with the move Technician. So Fury Cutter has a base power of 40, but with Technician and Stab being applied on its first turn, it is going to have base power of 90, then it's going to have 160, then it's going to have 240, and Fury Cutter just combines really well sorry, with Technician. And just lastly, it's going to have Shell Bell as the item, because we are going to be doing potentially massive amounts of damage with Fury Cutter. Shell Bell will synergize extremely well with it. This is an extremely solid build and most likely what I'm going to be using, but there is a fifth build. Let's have a look at it. So the fifth and final build is probably going to be the best build, which is my Mew build. Now remember what the Pokemon Presents made clear: if you are to use Mew in the 7-star Mewtwo Tera Raid, then something amazing is going to happen. So let's have a look at my particular Mew build. I've gone for a Dark Terror type with a modest nature, so it's going to have a boost in its special attack whilst reducing its attack, 252 EVs in special attack, 252 EVs in special defense, and the rest is going into HP. Its ability Synchronize is pretty useless, but the item Shell Bell, as usual, is going to work as a strong line of recovery. Now in terms of its moveset, I've gone for Light Screen. This is going to reduce damage from Mewtwo's special attacks by 50% for 5 turns. Acid Spray is going to lower Mewtwo's special defense by 2 stages. Nasty Plot is going to increase our special attack by 2 stages, and Dark Pulse is going to be our main damage dealing move, and it can also potentially cause flinching. Now I was thinking about taking out Light Screen and maybe putting in Snarl, because Snarl works extremely well and it's also another damage dealing move, but I'm not particularly sure. I'm just messing around with it at the moment. But anyway, this is my Mew build. I know some people are going for the Bug Terra type, but I've gone for this build. I think this is probably the most optimum build for Mew. Now that's pretty much it. These are the 5 builds that I've given for you to potentially solo the 7-star Mewtwo Tera Raid with. In my opinion, Mew is obviously still going to be the best option because something amazing is going to happen, and obviously you want to see what that is. But yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, guys, I would really appreciate if you would give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please definitely do so. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.